Very, very good evening, Nairobi, Kenya, Africa, and the world. Culture Kitchen is going down right now, and I'm so excited because I have the one and only boss babe in the 254. Anne, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, Kev.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. I'm excited.
Conversation. So, yeah, I mean, how was your day?
My day was busy. I worked from home mostly. Because I missed last week. I was unwell. I had a bad flu.
Yeah.
And I had my birthday after I recovered from the flu.
By the way,
so it was a really busy week.
When I reached out to you last week, I was so amazed when you told me, because it's your birthday week, you're going off air.
I'm not taking any
You're
work.
not available. You got to chill. And I like that. You know what that meant to me? Mm-hmm. You can afford your freedom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're not accountable to nobody. Okay,
that's true.
Yeah, you can decide whatever to do with your own time, unlike some of us.
That's true. I've never looked at it like that, but now that you say it, I guess so.
How does it feel?
Guess so. It feels nice. It feels nice to be your own boss. I didn't say it's easy though.
Exactly, but it's nice, worth it.
I think it is.
So for folks who don't know you, tell us about your company. And why and what inspires you to do what you do?
Okay. My name is Anne Mohia. I have a company called Winners Arena Africa. We support entrepreneurs to either start, grow, or scale their businesses. I think of it as like a passion project for me because I have 9 years. I'm an accountant, by the way, by profession.
Good stuff.
I have 9 years corporate experience and almost a decade now in entrepreneurship. And let me tell you, when they call it School of Hard Knocks.
It is. It really is, huh?
It really is.
I can imagine.
It really is. So the decade that I've been an entrepreneur has truly shaped me to who I am today, and it's been very challenging. And I assume it's as maybe even worse for others than it was for me with my corporate experience. But also, there's a lot of unlearning I had to do. So it hasn't been easy. And so
When you say unlearning, you mean from your corporate experience or... Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you see, like, for example, if you started your own radio station, you're not going to start here.
Of course.
Yeah. So the mindset, you have to have a completely different mindset.
Back to basics.
In terms of like how you approach it. So anyway, I started creating content. So I'm also a digital creator. I started sharing my journey as an entrepreneur, the challenges I'm facing, some wins, some lessons here and there. And it's not a conversation I thought people were interested in. In fact, I thought... this biashara kinaniramba tu peke yangu.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's like this everywhere, and so that's what now has evolved into Winners Arena Africa.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to do it? To I guess run your own company. What was the motivation?
The push.
Yeah.
The push from corporate. The madness.
Exactly.
At what point?
What was the push?
When did I lose my mind?
Why did you decide to just do your own thing?
I encountered a boss that, we were not getting along. And I think I would say happily employed, truly. I had never started a side hustle, nothing. I was happy to report to work, do my thing, get my paycheck at the end of the month, repeat, probably get a promotion, until I got sort of like the job of my dreams, literally. It was really the job of my dreams. And my direct report, we just could not get along.
Oh, snap.
It was so bad. I tried to hold on to that job, tried to do everything I could. It just wasn't working.
To sort out the relationship, especially.
Either to improve on how I was doing my delivery or the relationship with the guy. It just wasn't working. And I wasn't the only one, so I don't think it was a me issue. And so just one morning I was so miserable. I was just like, I cannot, the pay is good, the company is good. I love my job, but I hate working under this person.
Oh man, that sucks.
And I guess what he made me feel like the job I always thought was secure as long as I do my part isn't. And I think that feeling never left me.
And you see that's the case, like you said, for many people, right? They don't really leave the job. they leave
the boss.
They leave the boss. They
Yeah.
leave the bad relationships, and it's oh my god, I
It was.
I really empathize.
It was horrible.
Do you think if
It was
things were
horrible.
good between you and him, you would have stayed?
Of course, I'd still be. I'd still be
85.
employed. So in a way, it was such a terrible experience then. But like the way they say the dots connect. I am so happy for that
Right.
experience
Oh my
because
God, yeah.
I think wanting to find freedom and being in control of my own destiny kind of sort of has guided me on this path that has been so amazing. In like as a person, I am not the same person.
You
I'm
definitely
not.
evolved. Yeah, let me ask you. I want to go back to day
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I want to go back to when you were young. Did you grow up in a wealthy family or something?
Wealthy. Well, define wealth.
How about your,
We
just
were.
like a typical, family? When I say typical, I mean like most people out here, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe below
class,
most.
Nini?
No, definitely not middle class. So I was raised by my grandmother in Githunguri. I went to a local school in Githunguri. Probably maybe less than 10% of the people who went to that school wore shoes.
What?
Kind of shags.
You have stories of our
I have
parents. You sound like my mom. 10%. So,
I swear to God, like 10%
Tell me you didn't wear
wore
shoes as well.
I thank God I was among the so you could say I was the middle class of the
Okay.
shags.
you are the standard. Oh man.
So labda ilikuwa let's call it middle,
Yeah, yeah.
middle. Middle class, yeah.
Okay.
But very humble upbringing. We used to pick coffee, take the milk to the dairy stuff. Like I wouldn't say I lacked anything. And it's one of those, like everyone around you is living the same life.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's like for kids these days with social media and everything.
Now kids have access to stuff because even us guys, especially millennial parents, we never want our kids to go through what we went through.
Is it good or
Right.
is it bad? Because
well, it's 50-50,
50-50 because
Yeah.
like for example the wealthiest family, my uncle had this pickup that would break down all the time and used to ferry eggs because we were like generally farmers. We're either farming dairy, eggs, you have some chickens, coffee. So he was the guy ferrying everybody's
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And compared to where we were and where the best family, let's say the guys who are living the life, the distance wasn't that much. So I didn't grow up feeling like I was lacking anything. But
But you grew up around entrepreneurs. That's the vibe I'm getting.
farmers,
Yeah.
yes. If you put it like that, yeah. There's someone who asked me when we were having a conversation and they was trying to dig deep, like you must have gotten it when you were young. We need to find that moment. And I remember there's a story. It's an interesting one. So we never lacked food. Food was in plenty, but cash flow was really, really scarce. Cash flow like 20 bob, 50 bob was really, really scarce. And I remember you might. No, well, I don't know
not
where
gonna
I'm
judge.
taking you. You're not going to judge from
I'm
this.
listening. Yeah, I'm here for the stories. Yeah.
So, do you know what a petticoat is?
Of course.
In a way, but
Yeah.
you're a bougie.
What
You're,
you doing?
you won't get it.
I get it, man. Just keep on talking.
You won't get it because we used to wear the petticoats. Those days they were like half and they had like colored lace and stuff, and that was like the in thing, the colored lace. And I really wanted my grandma to buy me one of those, and money is scarce. So basically after school I used to go sell bananas by the roadside.
So that's probably when it started. Your
I guess so.
entrepreneurship,
Yeah. So maybe figuring out where the most traffic is at what time and
But
stuff like that.
fast forward, you're here now. It's been almost 10 years of you in business. You're running your own companies.
Yeah.
I did my work on you, by the way. I did my research. That's good stuff. But why is it important for people to actually have a money mindset? When I say money mindset, I mean like pretty much get the financial education in this day and age.
I don't know if that exists for entrepreneurs. And if there's someone listening in who is looking to go into business, you're going to have to really apply yourself to find that knowledge. Because I mean, financial literacy, money mindset is one thing. Building a company, building value is a totally sort of like different thing. Let me put it like this. I knew how to manage money because I'm an accountant. I used to be the person in charge of budgets, right? My last role was group head of finance. Managing budgets, that's my thing. But that's not how value is created. Yeah,
totally.
that is sort of like you're managing budgets, but there are people who are working towards creating this value, doing the sales and the marketing and the operations to bring in this money. It's a totally different sort of like ball game, and I don't think it's taught in school because I should have gotten it right with my degree in commerce, CPAK. If I don't have it, or rather I didn't have it when I was starting out, then you can see that our system really doesn't support innovation and entrepreneurship. That you have to journey by yourself.
Yeah, it's almost as if you have to learn these things, as you go.
There's a lot of try and error.
Right.
Which is painful.
Scary.
It's painful. You lose money, you lose time. You lose energy. Sometimes you're so frustrated. Many people, go back to employment, just to get a breather.
But the frustration is what builds you. That's what you learn. Those are the lessons now, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're paying attention.
Yeah, I like that. So what are some of the habits that you had, I guess, before you became an entrepreneur, and the ones that you had to relearn? Because you said there's some things
Unlearn and relearn.
Yeah, I want to compare notes.
How much time do you have?
Enough time to listen to value. Your habits before you became an entrepreneur, and then now that you're an entrepreneur, that I guess we can also learn from some of the things that you had to, I guess.
Let me tackle money mindset, right?
Okay.
So, for example, I had this assumption that when you build a great product, they will come. Whoever your customers are that you're building this great product for. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to build the great product, and then you have to go and market the great product.
Wow.
And then you have to go and deliver excellence and delight your customers so that they can keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
That I think I believe I had only one piece sort of like of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Then I had this assumption that you need money to build something. Like capital to start a business. But I feel like depending, because there are many, I've seen many entrepreneurs, myself included. I've built from nothing in terms of like capital availability. And there are a lot of Kenyans who say, I am not able to do this because I don't have capital. But you'd be surprised at the power of broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you have money, you actually waste it on nonsensical issues. When you don't have money, you get really, really, really creative.
That's amazing. Because even with the bit of money that you have, it has to make sense. Yeah, I like that. And, my dad used to tell me, Kevin, you have to work hard in school, even when you're at work. He was such a big proponent of working hard. And I believe in working hard. But at the same time, it didn't really make him rich. Now
the hard work.
Yeah.
How sad.
You know what I mean? So in relation to business, right? How do you at least ensure that you have the right vehicle? Basically, you have the right idea, you have the right product, so that you don't incur a lot of losses. Because I know there are people who are starting out and they want to make sense of the bit of capital that they have.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that you have the right vehicle?
First, get yourself a mentor before you start. Before you test your idea, get yourself a mentor. They'll ask you the right questions that will probably piss you off, but they'll get you in line. There are some things. Basically, when you're starting out in anything, really, you don't know what you don't know, and so I wouldn't say that by getting yourself a mentor, you're not gonna incur losses. But they just get comfortable with losing. You're gonna lose more than you will win. I can promise you that. whether that's contracts or gigs, or you will lose more than you will win. So you just have to get comfortable with losses. And in fact, you want to get yourself in a situation where you fail pretty quick,
right?
And you fail early because it's cheaper. You don't want your lessons to be too expensive.
Brilliant.
So get yourself a mentor who will sort of like guide you, ask you the right questions. Sometimes the idea you have in your head sounds really nice, but it's a really dumb one. But because you don't know, you don't know. And so sometimes you can go all in and then you realize,
you're going to be like, yeah, my boy told me, this is such a fresh product.
This is an Uber for, have you had those businesses?
Yo, and I know there are many folks who've come up with ideas like Uber. But
Uber for XYZ.
You know what I mean? It's so sad and it's very scary. But, I like what you said. Fail early because it's cheaper. Moving forward.
Yeah.
One thing I like about you is you're really putting in the work in terms of conversations. You're big on your social media. You're out here engaging with other entrepreneurs, and you're sort of like in a community. And now you've developed like a brand. You're out there. You're known. How important is it for folks to actually be known?
Bro,
in 2020, not even 2025, since I guess this social media era, the internet,
yeah.
As an entrepreneur, why is attention so important? I'm not even talking about the product in itself, the owner of the product.
Okay, so if you are starting a business today, the cheapest marketing budget that you can have in your corner is building your own personal brand to back up that business. There are a lot of people who are creating content and doing the usual stuff, the makeup, the sunscreen here, there. And we probably have like so many creators who are doing the same thing. However, if you shift your mindset from I'm building this to become an influencer versus I'm building this so that it helps me build my business, now that's where the real value is, according to me. I think it is super, super important because it's becoming a lot more expensive to get attention. Whether even I'm sure the people who are running ads will confirm this. Ads are performing less and less.
Right.
The people who are getting the attention are those with communities who offer those communities value, and the communities therefore then follow them, and they trust. They give them their trust and their loyalty and their money, essentially.
Yeah. So now, in relation to social media, so how does the marketing work? Where is the gold mine? How do you say, for example, now I'm like, okay, fine, I'm new in business, and I want to take advantage of social media. I'm going to start with marketing, for example. What's the strategy?
That's in any business. That's the wrong mindset. Let me put it like that. Sort of like when you go and your goal is what's in it for yourself. It's you'll get so frustrated. You need to figure out what, as Kev, for example, what value do you offer to the world? And sometimes that's a really tough question. It's easy, but it's also like a hard question because you have to ask yourself, the road you've traveled, the life that you have lived, what value can you offer the society? Right? It could be in your experiences, for example. So for me, it's in my experiences. So my experience as an entrepreneur, those are mainly the stories I tell. I also tell about, my story about motherhood. I don't know if you know, but I have a 5-year-old who has a couple of challenges. And it's been a challenge, being a mother to a person living with some sort of disability. But it is valuable to someone else. So you have to show up with value first.
So you tie your product to a story?
Don't even think about product at this point.
Right.
Value. Yeah, and be
It could even
open.
be in the form of entertainment.
It could be in form of entertainment. Yeah, it could be jokes. Like I have a couple of creators I follow, and as I'm scrolling in the evening, I'm usually just laughing so hard. They entertain me. Yeah, so it could be in form of entertainment. It could be in form of aspiration. I'm sure you've seen creators who it's just more expensive to execute, but also it could also be in the form of education, shared experiences. Just look at the value that you can offer to society. Like this piece of information, if I put it out there, it's gonna help someone. And then keep showing up. Value first, and then now you can build on that later.
Can you have massive financial success without tying your product to a social media strategy in this day and age?
Can you have massive success without tying
your product to social media? Because we know the power of social media. People say it's literally, it's like it's the engine these days when it comes to product development, whatever.
I think you can.
Can you?
I think you can. Let me tell you an interesting story. I'm looking for this entrepreneur. If I find them, I really want to have a conversation with them. I don't know if you've seen Samosa World, KE.
I'm not so sure I have.
Probably. No, to a Kilimani.
They have to market more. Because if I don't know them, that means the strategy is not working well.
Okay, hold on. Acha explain here.
Please explain.
So
I know something. I know Chapati lady, something like that. I know her.
So Samosa World KE is not very prominent on socials. However, if you go to Utawala, Kasarani, and I think Zimmerman, they have like over 10 branches.
Right.
They sell nothing else but samosas. Nothing else. You should see the store. Like this office is like 6 of their. This studio is like 6 of their stores. They are really, really small.
Yeah.
And inside each and every one of those locations, you have like 10 employees. They are moving mad, crazy volume.
I can imagine.
Mad.
So what do you think is the strategy?
And they are not. So it's a story I actually did on my socials for those who want to have a look. But there's someone who commented and said that guy used to be a butcher, owned a butchery, but used to sell samosas on the side. But people would come and buy more of the samosas than the nyama. Yeah. So he decided, let's do away with this and just proceed with the samosas. They are not online at all. But basically, do you see where they are? They're in Utawala, they're in Kasarani, high volume places. Their operation is really, really lean. Yeah. And they produce the samosas sort of like, I would say they're benefiting from economies of scale, right? So that's a business that's able to thrive without having to be online. However, I think the question to ask yourself is, whatever product or service you're selling, where are your clients?
Brilliant question. Yeah.
If they are online, then you need to be online.
So could I be right or wrong if I say they're probably also leaving money on the table without having a presence online?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but we could argue it because when I put that post up, you Kililesha people.
What are you doing? You are judging me badly. Can we just have a normal conversation?
Someone was just like, that can't be beef. It has to be samanyama from God knows where. 30 shillings, because it's 30 shillings.
And it's really good.
And it's really, really good. I've tasted it. I also was a bit skeptical.
So maybe he needs to be transparent. Where is that nyama?
Where is it coming? Where is it so good, from? Right? But I guess what I'm trying to say is, who are you serving? Yeah. Where are they? Yeah. Go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's more of a priority? What should the emphasis be on? I'm in the MSME space. Marketing or sales?
Is in marketing what drives sales? I think.
So that means?
So marketing comes first, then sales second. However, for a long time, many people could not afford marketing until social media came and changed a lot of things. Right? Marketing was really, really expensive for small businesses. But in today's age and with the way digital is, I think the bar sort of has been lowered for small businesses.
Right.
And so digital marketing then becomes the easiest, cheapest way to market your business.
Right.
Now, the challenge now then comes, how do you do it in a way that you're not burning your customer acquisition is not costing you a lot every single time, right? Because you need sales consistently. For you to bring in sales consistently, there has to be something happening in the digital space.
I agree.
So the question now is, do you pay in form of ads and influencers, or do you take the longer route, the more tasking one, and build a personal brand to then drive, the sales to your business?
What would you advise?
The latter.
Take the longer route.
Yeah, it's more sustainable. Plus, you have access to the influencers and you have access to the ads when you need to amplify. But it's not what you're sort of depending on. Tomorrow, if Meta changes their algorithm, your sales dip before you take some time to learn the new algo and blah, blah, blah. So I would say it's more sustainable to take the longer route.
Because I know there's some people who, they're brilliant salespeople out here. They've got a brilliant sales team. When you get out there and you start knocking doors, and then I don't know your business, I'm just like, some people just like it when your business is more familiar. That's when they can spend their money.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've done a lot of cold calls.
Yeah.
In my time.
Yeah, you talked about that on one of your videos. I saw it on Instagram. Cold calling. Is it really working when you're not really doing the marketing?
Right now, I would say, don't bother. You're better off really trying to figure out how to build this personal brand online.
Right.
You just need to be visible. It's the new currency. I have a feeling, when I started doing this, it wasn't even sort of like quote unquote like a strategy. I didn't sit down and I had a grand strategy. It was just, I really wanted to share my experience as an entrepreneur. I felt like it could benefit other people if there were other people who are experiencing what I was experiencing, right? I went on TikTok, so I did it for fun for most of the time I've been there. But I think this year only I have sort of like become more intentional about it. And I would say for the last 6 months, not even a full year. And already I can tell it's going to transform my life if it hasn't already. Yeah, it's worth it.
So I've got a product, I've got it out there, I'm selling this, I'm getting a bit of money. How should I create that balance of I've come back to the business? Should I invest it back on the marketing, building the company's brand, or should I invest on the products? When
you make revenue?
When I make a bit of revenue.
I see.
How should I make sense of that money?
Oh, wow, that's a whole class. But let me try and see if I will sort of like break it down. In
remember,
in
I just started.
Simpler.
I just got into business.
You just got into business.
Yeah.
So first, I think my assumption would be at this point you don't have a strategy per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. You picked a product.
Yeah.
And you were just like, let's try. So I would call this a pilot phase, and your pilot is successful because you've been able to sell.
There's proof.
There's proof of concept, right? You've been able to sell. That's usually like the number one
That's
thing.
The main
There's
thing.
a market for your product, and the price point is right. Someone has, you've shaken their hands and, they've bought the product or the service. So now you need to work out your strategy. And you need to be clear about the person who you're going to be selling this product to, or rather like your customer segment. I feel like the biggest mistake people make is trying to sell to everyone. You see, like back to the samosa people, they are very specific about the Kenyan they are targeting. And that's why they are where they are, right? And it's smart to do it like that, because at the same branch, in the same size, in the same, in another different location, it will not sell, it will not work. So be clear about the customer that you're targeting. And then be clear about how they perceive value, because sometimes I think we sell the product for the product, not for the value the customer is getting, when buying our product. So you could be selling samosas, but I'm buying convenience.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm buying convenience. I don't want to roll the unga, the whole process. I don't want to deal with it. That's what I am buying. You're selling samosas. So you need to understand how I perceive the value your product or your service brings to my life or the reason why I even need it in the first place. And that helps you in communication, because if you market samosa, you completely miss the point. Well, you say, this whole box, you can get it delivered to your house if you have an event, and this is how much it's going to cost. It's going to have 100 pieces inside and blah, blah, blah. Then I'll be forced to be like, oh, I actually have wagenis this Saturday.
Correct.
I don't need to hassle with this. Please, can you bring it?
Right.
Value versus, just selling the product.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, just figure out then how do you keep this customer coming back?
Right.
So once you've sold them to them once, what do you need to do? How do you need to behave as a business towards that client? What kind of information do you need to continue feeding this client for them to keep coming back? And basically, they are all, you can see now they're like layers and layers and layers. And then now you have like, in your strategy, you have like key activities that then help you achieve that. And then now you will get to your costing. So ideally, your salary should not be from your sales. It should be as part of the cost.
Right.
Yeah. And I made this mistake because, I was worth XYZ when I left corporate.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
this is how much I want to earn.
Same as I was.
Same as I was. It's like if I was expecting to be interviewed, like this is the minimum I'm saying.
You expect to earn? Yeah. Oh my God.
No,
yeah.
you start with just the basics. Ask yourself, for you to not die, what do you need? Like for you to stay alive.
Yeah.
You probably need food, you need transport money, you need rent, just the basics.
Yeah.
Try and get your business into a space where it can pay you that as a salary.
Right.
Which is like minimum wage.
And you have to pay yourself. Even if it's just extreme.
So pay yourself. You can put the balance as a debt maybe in future if the company does well. Then you can recover
that
from
makes
there.
a lot of sense.
Plus you're building value.
I agree.
The equity is yours, right?
Yeah. And from your story, how did you get the right people to work for you? And also that's going to mean how can somebody else also get the right people to work for them? Because I know we always imagine that the best people are just degree holders. Alifana become I don't believe that, especially in this day and age. The brilliant guys out there. So how do you get the right folks to work for you?
I started off with the degree holders.
Oh, that's what you did. It's safer, yeah?
No. It wasn't. So these are the things I had to unlearn. This is another one of them, right?
Right.
So ideally, if you have a gap here, there's someone who needs to sit over there and do something to help this show. You hire. You tell HR hires. Suddenly you have Anne seated next to you and you will continue working together.
But that time you don't even have HR, isn't it?
But now, see, I'm HR. I can play the role of HR.
Yeah.
See, CV2, Nini, interview.
Exactly.
And I get my person. The thing that I completely missed is that in as much as, let's say you're hiring for a sales role, because that's what I did. I didn't like selling. I'm an accountant. Just get someone else to deal with it. I'm the business owner. I'm the one who understands my product. I understand my customer. Now I've hired someone to come and sell, my product or service. Because I don't know how to, and I don't want to go through the headache of learning how to. What then that means is they're not properly guided. I am not in any position to, even know whether they're being successful at how they're doing it or not. I don't have a working method that I can show them. This is how we do this.
You're also just winging it.
So literally, I've invited someone who doesn't share my dream to wing it.
You're both wingers.
So just tell me, what do you think are the chances of winning in that kind of a setup? It'll go nowhere. So most of the things that I'm speaking specifically to small business owners, right?
Correct.
Whatever you're hiring for, you need to, in as much as, let's say, they might be better at it than you, but at least you need to know which process works. Right. You need to be able to manage them to execute on that. And that's sort of, I have many stories around that, and it has caused me a lot of losses, I must say, where I knew nothing. You know, we got together with this guy, a partner I had. We built an app. Fantastic. At that time, now I had learned how to sell. So I'm selling, he's building it. So he's the techie, me, I'm just... Groundwork.
Yeah.
Hey, he gets a really fancy job, and then now I'm just left. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is Python? What is Python? What is JavaScript?
And you know, most folks like those, but they usually use a startup as a stepping stone to get back into corporate.
Dude.
So he left you high and dry, man.
He left me high and dry. Jeez. I tried. I was just like, someone encouraged me, just start at HTML.
Yeah, oh my God. So did you actually have to learn these things?
I couldn't. It was so painful. I was just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Another lesson in the bag. We were beyond the pilot phase. Like we were...
You guys were not making sense.
It was making... We had a couple of clients, close to 200 users. So
wow.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. But, you know, you live and you learn. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that, you know, hiring is probably going to be your biggest headache. However, your best hires will be the ones you grow with. You know, the guys who probably have never worked anywhere, and you teach them your culture.
Right.
You teach them how this is how I want this to be done. This is what we stand for. These are the values. So they're not bringing their own, you know, ideologies and their own different cultures to your small business, because it's already a small business. But if you are willing to put in the effort to mentor, then I feel that's the best approach for a small business. If you get someone with experience and a degree, they come. First of all, they're rowing your small business.
And they're not cheap, isn't it?
And they are also not cheap.
Yeah.
They're also not cheap. And they're used to structures. Remember, you are building your structures as you go. So they're used to, they thrive under structures.
Yeah.
Not everyone is able to leave structure and, you know, survive.
Yeah. Damn. And you're
entrepreneurship.
You're dropping bombs. I love it, man. This is amazing. Guys, for the record, that is Anne. How do you pronounce the second name? Muhia. Sorry.
Muhia.
Anne Muhia. She's an entrepreneur. She's got an amazing program. We'll talk about that and how you can actually join the program later on. But right now, we're keeping it moving, man. You know, in this country, there's a certain narrative, and maybe it's actually factual. They're talking about how the economy is very, very dilapidated, right? Businesses are being shut, you know, left, right, and center. Some biasharas are actually now moving to other countries like Tanzania or whatever.
Not Tanzania, not today.
No, not today. I take back my words. Do you consider Kenya to be a land of opportunity? Is it still a land of opportunity? Is this a place where sort of like the American dream?
Absolutely.
Is the Kenyan dream still alive for entrepreneurs?
In fact, just today, the guy who brought me the Uber I came with, we were just having this conversation. So I like talking to Uber guys and, you know, asking them, you know, how is business and blah, blah, blah. So I was keen to know, like, how much do you make in a day before expenses or after expenses, whichever number you have. And he tells me he makes between 3,000 to 5,000 after all the expenses. And I'm like, wow, it's actually not bad.
Good money. Yeah.
It's good money. So he says if it's your car, then, you know, you because I mean, when it's peak hours, that's when you show up. When it's not peak hours, you go do your own shugulis. You can farm watermelons or something, you know, keep yourself busy for those hours. So that's one way of looking at it. But also, I feel like there's Kenya is the land of opportunity. Most business owners just don't have the information. I think there's a lot of money lost in Kenya in the trial and error.
Oh wow!
Not I think, I know for sure because I do like one-on-one consultation. So these are people I speak to on a daily basis, and you can tell this person is hardworking, anajituma, like they're out there trying to, you know, just make ends meet. They just are missing the right information. They're missing mentorship, basically.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people who are getting very frustrated, trying this business, that business. Then it doesn't work. You try another one. It doesn't work. You try another one. It doesn't work. And you can find yourself doing that cycle for like,
I know, and it's so costly, man.
it's very costly.
Yeah.
But if you knew, if you had a mentor or access to this information, this is like information that's either available in the entrepreneurship accelerator programs. Not many Kenyans, again, know about those programs. So, it's just for the few, the guys with this information who have access to the information. So I feel like there's more that can be done with like, guidance and mentorships, which is kind of why I host other entrepreneurs on my channel, because I want to hear, I want to show the person who has found themselves in business as just, the last cause. Like, this is not a choice they made.
Yeah.
These are circumstances that led them there. I want them to see what's possible and also to get a view of what kind of steps to take over time. After hearing all these stories, you will start to see how possible it is even for yourself.
So the vibe I'm getting is you're saying the execution culture in the country is also a bit kind of shaky. Guys, they don't have the right education, mentorship, and so they're a bit skeptical about their chances of success.
Yeah.
But there is money to be made.
There's money to be made.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
there's money to be made. But also money to be lost if you go at it blindly. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, my next question is about, of course, when I have a conversation with you now that I'm, engaging with you, I get the perception, I get the feeling that you're very grounded. You come off as very sharp. You know what I mean? Your energy is dope, man.
Thank you.
What's your ritual? Especially in an environment that's very high pressured for entrepreneurs, right?
I see.
Yeah. What do you do to stay, grounded? Because personally, by the way, I've been in business, right? And
tell me more.
My mom was just like, Kevin, if you cannot handle Nairobi, get your debts back to Kisumu. and I went back and
what kind of business?
We started a college. With a friend of mine. It's actually still there, but I can see, he's shout outs to Bonke, man. Like, it's been very rough, but the fact that he's at least surpassed the 5-year mark, I have hope for him. I think he's actually going to do well, because he says his dream is to turn Ubunifu College into a university. That's his main goal. And at least now he has students, a
college. That's
a whole
ambitious.
College. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, proper college with serious credentials. Now, for you, I guess, what's the game plan? What's usually your strategy? How do you stay grounded in this crazy environment called Kenya? It's very unpredictable.
It's very unpredictable. I think I would say I'm a very tenacious person, and I only discovered this while in entrepreneurship, because half of the things I've been through ought to have killed me at some point.
You're going to write a book, maybe? I
most definitely will. Yes. I most definitely will. So I would say I'm a glass half full kind of person, and I hate throwing pity parties. Like, something will, let's say, you try something and it crashes and burns. I'm only allowed to cry about it for 3 days max.
What?
After 3 days, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
But I think what has helped a lot is, in as much as I'm not throwing a pity party, I'm staying in that situation long enough to learn my lessons, because I don't want to come back here again.
Right.
So that the next time
So you don't see yourself being employed ever again?
It's not possible.
Shindwe.
It's not possible.
I know what you're saying.
It's
I know what you
possible.
mean. Yeah.
There's freedom. I get to pick my daughter from school when I want. I get to hang out with her. I get to.
Yeah.
There are a lot of positives, but also just over and above the freedom, I think just personal growth. That this, I don't know if you've seen like billionaires who are just chill.
Yeah. Nah, trust me.
Why do you think they're just chill?
I think when you're thriving, when you have financial success, when you're at a level of serious independence, I feel like your true personality and character tends to come out, you are at your best version.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're at your best version when you're employed.
But you're also
can
been
be.
through the fire.
Yeah, because you know you've been through it
You've
all.
been through it
Diamond in the dirt.
You've been
and I feel like
all.
entrepreneurship, man, Kwanzaa, when you're starting out, those are the real tests. I want you to just, because I know you also mentioned, and I've seen it on your, you've talked about this on other platforms. Of course, there's serious challenges that you've gone through being a mom. How has entrepreneurship, you know, helped you navigate these challenges that you go through with your daughter?
As a mom, I think for me it's just, you know, just being able to be flexible with time. That's the biggest one.
I agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I'm needed, I'm needed. That's it.
You're available.
I'm available. And I don't need to ask for permission. I don't need to, you know, talk to someone.
Yeah.
And, you know, they disapprove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
So I
you-
think that
yeah.
freedom is really good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you were to start over today, you know, go back to your, because you're definitely a Gen Z, but I'm kidding.
Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, okay. That's a compliment. Anyway, so if you were to start over, you go back to, let's say, your early 20s. What would your approach be to entrepreneurship, right? Would you rather start from the bottom, you know, from, you know, idea, manifest the idea, or if you could actually like buy an already existing business and then just scale it?
That's assuming I have the money to buy
of
the
course.
existing business.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the level of knowledge I had access to when I started, even if I bought, I probably still would have burnt it to the ground.
You would have failed.
I would have. There's a lot I really needed to learn through this whole process.
Yeah.
So I would say I would start from scratch. I would get a mentor. In fact, that money, instead of buying the business, I'd pay for a mentor.
You really believe in that mentorship process?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes. There's a lot you don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, you know, being told to come and run this studio. Without
You can be passionate about content. It's another thing.
It's
to
another
run
thing to run a studio.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would get a mentor, and then number 3, I would figure out a way to be visible as soon as possible.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually one of my key takeaways from this conversation. Visibility, man. Build that brand. My very, very wealthy uncle used to like telling us, me and my friend, if you don't love it, don't do it. But now, there's the reality of things.
If you don't love it, don't do it.
Should you always follow your passion? I'ma follow what makes the money. Do what makes the money. You know what I mean? Like even in even in uni, I'm even in business, right?
I think I can hold off my passions for later when I'm retired and financially stable and I don't need to work, but I want to work. And so I work on the things that bring me joy. But I don't think I can afford that kind of joy right now.
I like that.
Yeah. So I usually think about one of the other things I'm really sort of grateful for making this transition from career to entrepreneurship is the fact that eventually everyone is going to leave corporate, right? You're either going to be replaced by AI now. Before it used to be you will retire. Now you could be replaced.
Chop, yeah.
Or replaced for cheaper labor, whether that's AI or, you know, a Gen Alpha who can do your work for half the pay. Faster, cheaper, than have maternity leave yet and stuff like that.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. All these things are things that are that we face every day, right?
Yeah.
So either way, you're gonna leave corporate.
Yeah.
Right? I would say those who are in corporate right now, I think your key area of focus should be building your personal brand, because you can build it while you're earning a salary.
It's true.
Should you ever need to activate, you know, a product, a business, anything, the community will be right there.
Damn.
Oh, and to you, if you are forced, in this case, forced out of corporate,
And it's gonna happen.
it is happening. Ask this NGO, what's their name?
Yeah.
Earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
USAID.
Right. Oh,
Right.
man, look at that.
It is happening. Oh, and to you, if you're used to earning, let's say, 1.5 million, and then you're forced out, and then now you have to start learning where I started, it'll break you in ways you are not ready for.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
probably don't have the energy. You know, you probably have health issues.
So there are many people doing like side hustles,
Yeah.
and I incorporate. For me, mine, if I were to go back, I would build that personal brand while still in corporate, because it's an asset. It's an asset that you can activate as and when you wish or when you need to.
Oh, man, that's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, 3 final questions. How important is it to have your family and or your friends on the same page with you in terms of where you're headed towards financially, in terms of business, your ideas? Because they're mostly going to be your support system.
I see.
Yeah.
For me, most of them did not get it. My mom kept saying, "Wairimo hana kazi, ulipata kazi." And I'm like, "Mom, I'm trying to figure my stuff out. I am actually not looking for a job." She was just like, "Wairimo, that's my middle name, Wairimo hana kazi." So most won't get it. Most won't understand this journey that you're on, and it's okay. Just, believe in the, because I feel like it's almost like a calling. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but it's
true.
If it burns in your heart, heed the call, answer the call and just try it out. However, I must say, like, my husband is like my greatest supporter. 1000%. And I think I imagine if I was married to someone different, maybe someone in corporate.
Yeah.
And, I keep hitting the wall. I tried this, it hits the wall. I tried that.
Structure.
Na mezoea structure. Ataniambia unapenda kupoteza pesa. Kazi yako tu.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Kazi yako tu ni kuban. Unapoteza tu pesa kila mahali. They would not get it, honestly. They wouldn't.
So your husband is also an entrepreneur?
Yes, he
That's
is.
amazing. You guys are such a team. And have you ever contemplated quitting business? For real?
Many times.
Yeah. When was the latest?
The latest this year.
What a jokes.
In Feb. I remember it. Was it in January or Feb, thereabouts?
Yeah.
Hi.
It was bad, eh?
It was really, 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 really bad. Really, really bad. Like, I think the day I tell my story, like, tell it, like from start to finish.
Yeah. I was going to ask you to tell us, but, hey.
So what happened is I spent half of 2023 and then half 2024 making a certain pivot. So I was moving from software and business processes to something else. And we were doing it with a partner, and then it didn't work out. And I had to make the decision to just, it is what it is, just walk away from it. And I think that hit me really, really hard, because I think of all the business ventures I've attempted at, I was the most knowledgeable, the most intentional with that one. And things were actually working out. So
what made you change your mind?
That was very, very difficult. Just different partnership dynamics. I would say maybe let's talk about partnerships. I mean, if you're going to be in a business partnership, both of you should be in therapy.
It's true.
Both of you need to be in therapy. And I think frequently you need to ask yourself the question, is this logic or is this a feeling? whatever situation you could be sort of
Yeah.
like managing, because if you don't, then feelings have a way of getting into the
Yeah.
business and it's not sustaining.
Feelings are bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And how important is you mentioned therapy. How important is it for you to stay physically healthy, strong? You want the fuel to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So what do you do, and how important is that to you?
I am struggling. I am struggling in
I like
that
your honesty.
area, and my husband is always laughing because I'll try Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll fall off. I'll fall off Wednesday, Thursday,
Like
Friday.
a workout routine.
Yeah, that somehow I've been really, really trying, but I don't think I've wanted it as bad like I do right now. And it's basically because the stakes are higher. I don't know why I feel like the stakes are higher. I feel like I'm in a certain position in my life right now to make a huge difference, impact both in my life and that of others. So it feels like the stakes are higher, and I can almost feel like my body needs that. So
absolutely, yeah. Man.
In fact, it's a conversation I was having with myself while I was turning a year older, and I'm like, this needs to be the year that you change that.
You have to. Let me tell you, I come from a sports background. And, it's interesting because the harder you work, let's say at the gym or jogging or even going for long walks or whatever, the more you're going to have endurance in other facets of your life. The more you can actually execute better. And then you have clarity of mind.
I believe you.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And all right, so final question. How important should the concept of success be to a person? Why should you chasing for success be your duty? Because I feel like we shy away from...
Ask that question again. Why is the
concept of success important to you, and why should it be to anyone listening to you right now? This idea of you living out your full potential, financially, physically, emotionally, socially, family, why should we chase after this thing called success with proper intention?
I see. I think I don't know. I think over the years, my definition of what success is and how to actually build success sort of like has changed and has evolved as I've grown in entrepreneurship. And really, any business exists to be in service of other people, if that makes sense. And so if you chase the value that you offer and you continue to think about how much further you can push it in terms of delivering this value, and you end up impacting the lives, in your community, in your society, I think then that would be success to me. It's not about driving the latest car or living, in the biggest, mansion in the best neighborhood. For me right now, it's how am I impacting my society, my community, and am I intentional about, doing that? But if you're intentional enough, you also start to be intentional with your personal growth as well. And ultimately, everybody wins in that sense. I feel like when you chase money, it gets to a point, it's I would say, how would I call it? It lacks depth. And unto you, if you make more money before you become, I feel like it does more damage. Does that make sense?
I like how you put it.
Like you make a lot of before becoming.
Jeez, that's deep, man.
Before becoming the person who has earned or deserves it, you make more money
and
earlier.
It's interesting. There's a bunch of folks who are like that, isn't it? Suddenly you found yourself with a bunch of money.
Yeah, how are they? You can see what I mean, right? Before becoming, I feel like it does more damage to you than taking the longer route, which is why I'm really insisting the longer route is the way to go.
I love this conversation, man. You know what? I hope to work with you in future, one way or the other. Because I just generally like working with people who are successful, man. Like, how many businesses do you run?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I have 3.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's amazing. So for folks who want to join your community, how can they do that?
Oh, yes. I create content. I am Anne Moher on all social media platforms. Anne Moher _ on TikTok, on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel where I host other founders. It's called Unprepared to Entrepreneur, which is basically how my life has been. I started off unprepared, and I'm on a journey to becoming an entrepreneur, and I'm taking you with me. And I also host workshops. There's one that actually came out today, coming up on 29th of November, where I'll be sort of like teaching how you can use content to convert and drive business growth, convert into sales, content to business growth.
That's what we were talking about earlier, actually.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, and I hope I can continue to impact more people. If you run a business and you would like to share, feel free to reach out to me. I love documenting those stories for other people. That's my small contribution to society.
Good stuff.
At this point.
I know we're going to have another conversation, part 2 of this one. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you, Kev. This was really, really nice.
So I told you stop.
I have. I've enjoyed. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah. Awesome. The conversation was
very chill. I like that.
I like it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. Okay, sour. Yeah, we're done. Easy,